Hi, my name is Emily Marlowe and I work as a writing consultant with the online writing lab at Concordia University, Irvine. Today we're going to talk about academic writing and how to use a professional tone that aligns with APA format. To start off, let's discuss the why behind a professional tone in APA. First, in APA format, the goal is to clearly communicate ideas to the reader, which can be achieved by presenting ideas in an orderly and concise manner. Second, using a professional tone conveys the essential points of your work in an interesting way to engage readers and communicate your ideas effectively. Lastly, precise, clear word choice and sentence structure contribute to the creation of a substantive, impactful work. Overall, APA recommends a clearly communicated paper that engages your reader and impacts them. Here are some key tips when thinking about a professional tone. Keep your writing organized. Avoid contractions. Avoid informal jargon. Avoid value-laden or biased wording. Use a third-person perspective primarily. Proofread thoroughly, and apply correct APA formatting. The first way to align with APA's professional tone is to keep your writing organized. Throughout your paper, aim to organize your information in a way that guides the reader through the content. For example, group similar information into headings or paragraphs. Use transition words or phrases to guide your reader from one major point or paragraph to the next. Begin paragraphs with topic sentences to briefly introduce the main idea, and end with a concluding sentence to connect back to the main point of your paper and summarize your ideas. One strategy is to follow a general to specific flow. Begin with general information, this would be your topic sentence, elaborate on the content with examples and information from references, and then finish with broader information to wrap up this content. This would be your concluding sentence. The next step is to avoid contractions. Spelling them out is preferred as it creates a more objective and academic tone. For example, instead of don't, write do not. Instead of shouldn't, write should not. Instead of would've, write would have. Instead of it's, write it is. Another key element to maintaining a professional tone is to avoid informal jargon. This can create a tone that is more conversational and emotional, and APA prefers an objective and credible tone. For example, it is best to avoid words like really and astonishingly. Here are some examples of ways to reword informal sentences. Instead of the research looks at how, you could write the research emphasized the importance of. Instead of the teacher dealt with behavior issues, you could write the teacher addressed behavioral concerns. Instead of the program worked pretty well, you could write the program demonstrated relative effectiveness. Notice how the more formal versions of each sentence focus on an objective tone and use more academic language. In a professional tone, avoiding value-laden and/or biased wording is key. This is language that expresses a judgment, opinion, assumption, or emotional perspective rather than presenting the information in a neutral and objective way. The goal of APA is to present evidence in a balanced way and to use references to support your claims. Here are some examples of biased versus more objective phrases. Instead of writing the school failed to support these students, you could write the data suggests that existing support systems may not have adequately addressed student needs. Instead of this program is the best solution to the problem, you could write this program may be an effective strategy for addressing the identified issue. Overall, it is best to use third person, but first person is allowed in specific situations with reflection papers and other similar assignments. One example of when you would use first person is if you are describing work you did as a part of research or when you are expressing your own views. When you use first person APA, here are some examples of how to remain professional. Instead of, I think this is really bad, you could write, I found this issue concerning based on the data. Instead of, I wanted to talk about, you could write, this section examines. Instead of, I looked at, you could write, I analyzed. Instead of, I feel the student struggled because, you could write, the student struggled because. Usually you can remove I feel or I believe and not lose any information. An important element of academic writing is proofreading to check for punctuation errors, misspelled words, run-on sentences, sentence fragments, and awkwardly worded sentences. A great tool you can use is Grammarly. Access it for free with your Eagles email by scanning this QR code. And lastly, following APA guidelines in terms of formatting your paper can ensure your paper is as clear and professional looking as possible. However, make sure to always go with your professor's guidelines for formatting above APA formatting to align with their requirements. Here are some examples of sample APA papers on their website. Thank you for watching this video on academic writing. Scan these QR codes to make an appointment with the OWL and for other resources on writing in APA format. Have a wonderful rest of your day.